What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. Yes, it is here. It is the weekend. We made it, and we are here to talk about our Friday wrap up where I want to get us all on the same page. So whether you're holding open houses, taking clients around, we're talking turkey, right? Thanksgiving is right around the corner. Or you're talking about real estate. And yes, Thanksgiving, right? What is better than food, friends, family, drinking a little booze, watching some football? I mean, there's not much that's more American than that, than fireworks. So let's just dive in about what happened so we can make our clients knowledgeable and they can make the best educated decisions possible for them. So what we saw this week, we saw rates actually increase as the week started. On Monday, right out the gate, rates up. Long-term inflation, the biggest concern. And then we had the Ukraine-Russian conflict actually escalate, right? So what happened? Rates took a little bit of a dive. Not a huge dive, but we saw anywhere from an eighth to a quarter, depending on where you sat, only to see them tick back up and for the rest of the week just ride a little bit of a bumpy roller coaster. But the good thing was that conflict actually saved us this week, right? In times of uncertainty, you typically see a flight to safety, which is going to be your treasury bonds. But given that this, post-election, whoever you voted for, right now there is a lot of optimism. There's optimism in the markets. There's optimism in real estate. I see a lot more activity on the residential and commercial side. There is a lot of optimism post-election. So those are the facts. So what that means is that activity could spur rates even going higher given the long-term inflation concerns. But the fact that we had that conflict, it kind of leveled us out this week. It saved us. So that was the big thing that I think that to address is optimism is high. The conflict kept rates in line. One thing that we also saw is builders, they're dragging. They're not on board yet. Yes, it is a little bit of a month delay, but permits, housing starts, it's just kicking the can down the line, right? You hear it all the time. We have a housing shortage. What we really have is an affordability shortage, in my opinion. And until local governments get involved and figure out how to make affordable housing a greater accessible to the masses in cities and higher affluent areas, and they're able to figure out how to get those in there, right? I think that we're always going to have a problem. But that number just reflects, look, it's just kicking the can down the road. And I'm talking 3-5 years down the road. We are going to continue to have a housing shortage. And if you have a shortage and you have dollars chasing it, you're going to see prices continue to be elevated, which long-term is an issue due to affordability. The other thing that we saw is lower rates prove that pent-up demand is there. Typically in October, we see, based on history, 9 of the last presidential elections, sales the month prior to the election, meaning October, are down 15%. We saw existing home sales actually beat forecast. It just proves that back then in September, we saw interest rates go low into the mid sixes, into the low sixes. We saw houses go under contract. They closed in October, hence you saw the number. It is real. Pent-up demand is real. If we can get into the fives in 2025, we are going to have a great year. And I'm telling you, low sixes could even do it. And you're going to be looking at Q2, Q3, and I'll come out with that forecast towards the end of the year. The other thing is the Fed seems to be moving too fast, right? That's what traders are thinking now. We were at like about an 85% chance that they were going to cut the rate in December, on December 18th, another Fed funds rate cut. Now it's sitting at about a coin flip. Oh, guess who kind of predicted that? Yours truly. Hang in there, folks. I think I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. And lastly, like I said, hey, optimism is running high. So ride that wave. You do not want your clients to get left behind, right? The tide is turning a little bit. As I always say, make offers, make offers, make offers. The answer is always no unless you make an offer, unless you ask. The answer is no. All right, y'all, I'm around all weekend. Have a wonderful one. You need anything, text, email, phone call. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the timing. You just make sure that you reach out. I'm happy to help you with a flyer, with a pre-approval, talk numbers, whatever you need. I'm your guy. Have a blessed weekend. I'll talk to you on Monday with Weeds Weekly. Cheers, y'all.